Perfection. The girl is sheer perfection.
Naive.
No one can call you naive.
I won't be naive.
Now that's the spirit.
But what a bonus if he's hot, and it'll be
Our little secret.
Hi, I'm Diane Dayton. Welcome to Behind the Lines. You know, there's a lot of fun things going on in our area. Coming up as early as Memorial Day and then through the summer. And we're going to tell you what's going on at Mount Gretna at the Tabernacle. And with me right now is Luke Simons. Thank you for being here, Luke.
Thanks for having me.
You are an actor, you are a musician, you're a teacher. I mean, you do all of these wonderfully creative arts. So to have you as a part of this, and you've been a part of this in the past, haven't you?
Yes, I have. I participated in the Mount Gretna Tabernacle concert series last summer. I was in the Crooners concert. Got to sing some cool songs like I Left My Heart in San Francisco, Tony Bennett, all the good hits. So it was fun last summer doing that.
And if we don't understand what they are, they're on Saturday nights, right, 7:30. And what I think is so wonderful about that, it's a pay as you want, right?
That's right. Yeah, it's a great opportunity for all the people in the area to come out and just support the arts for fun, not have to pay for it.
Right. Yeah. So it's great. So it's you can support it in your own way.
Exactly.
And you don't have to feel restricted, right?
Yeah.
And you can bring the family and just have a good time with it too.
Yeah.
Tell me what it's like to perform in that tabernacle.
Oh, it's spectacular. I mean, when I was there last summer, it was an August night, so it was just absolutely beautiful, and the crowd's great. I mean, they eat it up. They're giving you all the support you could ever ask for. So it was a really fun environment to perform in.
Yeah. So you're doing something else, and this is happening on Memorial Day weekend, and this is a play that Larry wrote. Tell us the title of this and the premise.
Yeah, so the show's called Strictly Platonic, and it centers around a guy named Tim, who I get to play, and several other characters. And throughout the play, Tim's journey, it's all about a choice he has to make. Up until this point in life, Tim was a player. He would go from one woman to another, and you know, his friends get on him about that. So at this point in his life where the musical takes place, he has a choice to make, and it's between two women, and the one woman would be continuing down that path of being a player and continuing down that lifestyle, or settling down. So it's all about that journey that Tim takes.
Yeah, and it's a musical now. And I guess it was performed before in Philadelphia. That was the premiere, correct?
That's right.
But it became a musical now.
Yeah. So that adds so much to it. I mean, it continues to tell the story through the song and dance that we've been working on.
Yeah. So what was it like working with Larry on this?
It's been fun, yeah. So up until this point, we had been rehearsing about once a month. So it's been an extended rehearsal process, and we've been meeting at his house in the Philly area.
Yeah.
And no, it's been really fun. Larry's great to work with. He, like you said, he's wrote the script and the book to the show. So he obviously has a hand in it. So, you know, being the writer and the director, he definitely knows what he wants. So it's been nice working with him and all the other actors so far.
Yeah. And when you take on this character, so what did you have to draw from with this?
Well,
Luke?
yeah. So it's been fun because Larry told us in the beginning of this process to make these characters our own. I mean, it's the first time that we're doing this as a musical, so I was able to draw from past experiences, you know, relationships I've been in, how I've handled situations in my relationships in the past, so how I handle them versus how I think Tim might handle them, and what might be the same, what might be different, and drawing all those experiences together. It's been a cool experience because this is the first time I've played a lead professionally, and it's also the first time that I've originated a role. So to have those two things going on simultaneously, it's been really fun.
Yeah, oh, I bet it is. Yeah. And how many are in the cast?
7.
7, okay.
Yeah. So it's a small cast.
It's a small cast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's real good. So is this a whole family production? Would you say it's for the whole family, or is it for a certain age group? Or
I would lean more towards adults.
More towards adults,
content,
okay,
yeah.
because of the context.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. But it's going to be one that's going to have you laughing.
Yes,
right?
definitely.
I mean, that's really what it's about.
Yeah.
Yeah. and it's his journey.
That's right. That's right. It's a fun journey.
See, and that's really key.
Yeah.
So the price on this is what, $35?
$35 a ticket.
Okay. And it's the Friday and Saturday of Memorial Day weekend. So it's the 26th and 27th. It's at 7:30 p.m.
That's right.
And then there's a matinee on Sunday at 2 p.m. All right. So have you worked with Larry on any other projects?
I had worked with Larry once last summer, and that was when I performed the Crooners concert in August at the Tabernacle. And similarly to this process, we got to meet at Larry's house a few times leading up to the performances back then, and it was really fun because we had a live band playing with us, and that's exactly what we'll have this time through.
Yeah.
We have some similar musicians as to who was working the summer concert series last summer, but that's the one time I got to work with Larry so far, and this whole process has been another great experience too.
Well, as an actor, I know you go to different auditions and that sort of thing. How was this one different?
It was.
Okay.
Yeah, this was an interesting story actually. I in COVID times leading up to all the auditions that I had been doing before, everything was virtually done. And I've worked at places like the Classic Theater of Maryland. I did Romeo and Juliet down there in Annapolis. Hunterdon Hills Playhouse I performed at several times in New Jersey. And, I sent in audition tapes for that. But with Strictly Platonic, Larry actually contacted me. I didn't have to send anything. So, that's always fun as an actor when you get asked to do stuff. So I was contacted by him, and he said that he saw my reel on the Temple University Showcase when I graduated, the class of 2021. He found that page. He said he always likes working with Temple students.
Okay.
So he found me on there, reached out to me, and sent this long email, and I was so excited about it that, I jumped on the opportunity because this was when I got cast for this role. It was still fresh out of college, so of course, I'm taking everything I can.
Yeah.
And I said, sure, I'd love to be considered for this part. Thank you for the consideration. And all that it took was me, going to his house. He said, just come on over. We'll have some panel here to see how you do with reading through the script, learning one of the songs from the show. Yeah. So that was my audition once I was already asked to be part of the show, possibly. And then, sure enough, it went well, and he cast me. I think he called me the next morning, or maybe even on the drive home, honestly, it might have been. So it was a very quick turnaround to get cast for the show.
That's really exciting when it happens like that,
exactly.
isn't it?
When you least expect it.
Yeah, you had to feel really good about that. So tell me about some of the other characters that are in this particular show.
Yeah. So I alluded earlier to the choice that Tim has to make. Some of the other characters include Annie and Vicky. Those are the two girls that it comes down to in the show, and they're great. I've been working with Kate and Molly. They're wonderful actresses, and they're fun to work with.
Yeah.
Another role in the show, Josh, is played by a guy named Joe. Josh and Joe.
Okay.
You have to make sure you call him the right name, not the character name.
Right.
No, but, he's been fun to work with too. He plays the role of my best friend in the show, so he's kind of my subconscious and telling me what choice I should make versus what I shouldn't do.
Okay.
And then of course there's other ensemble characters that play a big part in the role in the show, and their roles are important as well.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds really good. And I think when you look at Larry, he has quite an interesting background too, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's done a lot. I know he's worked with Burt Bacharach as well in his career. Burt and Me, he wrote a show regarding Burt Bacharach and the fact that he got to meet him. My dad actually loves the music of Burt Bacharach, so that's something that I've talked to my dad about with Larry. Yeah.
Then they had to be excited that you were working with him on that too.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I guess he was saying his first show was a comedy entitled The Next Reunion, and that was at Society Hill Playhouse in Philadelphia in 2010, and that had a 5-week run, he said.
Oh, wow.
So I think that's very cool.
Yeah.
So Larry knows what he's doing with this,
and
he's been around and had a lot of fun with all of this too. So I know he's also been working on this fabulous concert series that's coming up throughout the summer. I think it starts on Saturday, June 24th. With the Maxwell Project. So locally, a lot of people know them. They do a lot of Earth, Wind, and Fire and hits from the 70s and 80s. There's an ABBA show coming up, a 60s party anthems, and they say make-out songs, whatever that means. That's in July. There's also greatest movie songs, top 20 female singers of all times, Broadway show, tunes, and music of Motown. I just think this is fantastic.
Yeah.
So all of these are going to be held on Saturday nights at 7:30 and pay what you want as you go. So if you don't know where the Tabernacle is, it's on 3rd Street, and I believe it's Glossenbrenner Avenue? Does that sound right?
That sounds right.
Okay, that sounds right. So the first thing that kicks it all off is this Memorial Day weekend show, and it's Strictly Platonic, and it's going to have you laughing. And it's going to make you feel good
It
too,
will.
right?
Yes, definitely. You're going to leave. You're going to leave really just in a good mood.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, and that's our goal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a real good goal. Thank you for coming in today, and I can't wait to check this out. I really want to try to see this too, and check out some of the music because we really have some good things going on here too.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here. We'll be right back.
Perfection. The girl is sheer perfection.
Naive.
No one can call you naive.
I won't be naive.
Now that's the spirit.
But what a bonus if he's hot, and it'll be
Our little secret.
Welcome back to Behind the Lines. We're talking about all the wonderful things that are going on this summer at Mount Gretna in the Tabernacle. So joining Luke and myself, we now have Larry McKenna. And Larry, you are the director, the executive director of all these things going on at Mount Gretna this summer, correct?
Yeah, I'm the exec director of the Gretna Summer Concerts. So,
Okay.
Yes.
And you also wrote the play that we were talking about earlier, Strictly Platonic, that's going to be debuting and premiering over Memorial Day weekend. So the music with this, where did this come from, Larry?
The play, I wrote this as a comedy back in 2013. It debuted at a theater just outside Philadelphia, Hedgerow Theater. And we had we got a wonderful review, much to my other surprise when my wife woke me up with the Philadelphia Inquirer review. I had warned her the night before that the review was going to come out and that she may wake up realizing she was married to the dumbest man alive. And she was very pleased to tell me that they loved the show. So I've been wanting to turn it into a musical for a long time, and COVID gave me some free time. So, so over COVID, 2 years, worked on the music, and we turned it into a musical. So
Okay, so you wrote lyrics, I
I
guess?
wrote the lyrics in the book, and then the music by Chris Doherty.
Okay. And when you met Luke, this seemed like a really good fit for him, right?
Oh, it's a perfect fit, and now that I know him, it's an even better fit. And
Okay.
the weird thing is how we found him. During COVID, it was very difficult to, there were no auditions. Most of it, we hold auditions when there were no in-person auditions back at the time we were casting. So I was thinking, I love working with Temple students, and I figured they must have a showcase during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And so I went online and looked at these different showcases, and when he came on, I said, he's the one. And it's been an absolute pleasure. He's spectacular both as an actor and a person. So.
Yeah, oh, that's great. That's really good. And you've got a great cast with this, too. So it is on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, Memorial Day weekend. It's 7:30 on Friday and Saturday nights, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And then 2 in the afternoon.
Yep.
It's $35, as we were talking about, for attending this, and you can get your tickets, and it's just going to be so much fun.
And can I just add that it's a benefit, the money from that is a benefit towards improvements to the Tabernacle, which is our performance venue.
Okay.
That's a 700-seat performance venue, open on the sides, but you're covered during the
that's
rain.
nice.
So.
That's nice. Well, I know Luke and I were talking about how you did something with Burt Bacharach, right?
I did. In 2012, I wrote a musical called Bert and Me, and I wrote the book, and but the star of the show was the music of Burt Bacharach and Hal David, so I just rode their coattails. So it was a case where I had to work with both Hidden Valley Ranches, Burt Bacharach's company, and then I actually worked closely with Jim David, who was Hal David, the lyricist, his son. He was very supportive of my efforts, and so he's the one that helped it happen. And so I just wrote it was a jukebox musical, and I wrote a storyline to take you from one song to the next, just to make people laugh, have fun. It's very light. And then we had 20 of the best Bacharach David songs you could possibly have. And that went on it opened at a place called Act 2 Playhouse in Philadelphia, went on to play at Society Hall Playhouse in Philadelphia, in Maine and stuff. But the biggest thrill for me is it played at Gretna Theater in 2012, and that was a real thrill.
Wow.
So that was my theater growing up. So
Yeah. What's your background, Larry?
I was a high school teacher. I taught special education and English for 34 years.
Okay.
So, and then I've always done the music on the side. So I have 4 kids, and we had 4 college tuitions, so music was the vehicle to pay for those college educations.
There you go. And,
Penn State has all my money.
yeah, and you know what? You can tell how passionate you are about all of this. And I think Luke knows that too from working with you, right?
Yeah, I love it. Anytime you can turn a hobby into a full-time position, it's wonderful.
Absolutely, absolutely. So the music, this is going to be great. It's all on Saturday nights at 7:30, right?
Yes.
And as we were saying, pay as you want. So, you know, it opens it up to everybody to come, right? So we're going to kick it off with Saturday, June 24th, Earth, Wind, and Fire. And I think people in this area know this group, the Maxwell Project.
Yeah,
they're amazing, aren't they?
They're amazing, and they're very, very well known in this area. And they're doing a show that's going to be dedicated to Earth, Wind, and Fire, but also the music of the 70s and 80s.
Okay.
So that'll be a big
So we
night.
can expect some funk, right?
Absolutely.
All right, sounds good to me. Saturday, July 8th, the music of ABBA.
Yep, it's 3 young ladies from the Philadelphia area that are all spectacular, so that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. And then Saturday, the 15th of July, it's 60s party anthems and make-out songs.
This is the show I'm most familiar with because I'm in this show. We're getting the old high school band back together. And,
Are you really?
Yeah, and but knowing that we are probably not at our prime, we brought in a lot of backup help. It's going to be a 7-piece band and 5 people in the original group. And Peg Keller brought in also. I actually asked her to come in and be an assistant director on this so she can tell me when I need not to sing. I need somebody who will tell me, no, you lost it. So, but that's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be a lot of party anthems and make-out songs from the 60s.
Okay, well, Peggy's great to work with, too.
Oh, she's
so,
fabulous.
Yeah, she's wonderful.
She's fabulous.
And the greatest movie songs of all time is going to be on Saturday, the 22nd of July.
Right, and that's a lot of fun because that's something for everybody, all ages. Some of our programs are having over tilt to them, but this one is going to be and they're not the theme songs, they're just songs that were popular in this music, and that goes everywhere from Breakfast at Tiffany's and Moon River to Let It Go from Frozen. So we have a big range in there. So.
Well, that really is a range, too. Saturday, July 29th, the top 20 female singers of all time. Now, how did this even come together?
That's a show that we did 2 years ago, and went over gangbusters, so we brought it back, and that features Peg Keller. And so Peg Keller is in it with 2 other, and actually the other person is Kate Daly, who has the lead in Strictly Platonic. And then the third young woman by the name of Kate Nice. And that's just a fun show. And that goes from Etta James to Whitney Houston to Celine Dion. And it's a real good mix of all ages of female singers. And the top 20 was like a research project we did with a couple changes here and there.
Okay, that's great. Greatest Hits of Broadway on Saturday, August 26th.
Yeah, it's always a big show for us. We always bring in a new cast, and we have a new cast this year. And once again, the range is from old-time standards to popular ones like Hamilton and ones Hairspray we used last year, but then some ones from Meet Me in St. Louis and things like that as well. So.
Oh, that's great. The Music of Motown on Saturday, September 2nd.
And that features Reggie Woods, who's spectacular.
I know
and
Reggie.
He's a Lancaster phenomenon. And he brought in 2 shows last year, our Whitney Houston show and his Motown show. And they were spectacular. It was our biggest crowd of the summer. Probably over 1,000 people at that show. So.
Wow, that's great. What else do you want us to know, either about the Tabernacle or about this wonderful programming that's going to be presented?
Well, I think it's a real testimony to Camp Meeting. The Camp Meeting Association in Mount Gretna has 3 tenets at the Tabernacle. You have the Bible Festival, you have the Heritage Festival, and you have our Mount Gretna Summer Concerts festivals. And all of those are pay what you want. And that's real important to all of us. And we figure that's part of the spirit of Camp Meeting, is that we don't want any economic group unable to attend a live music venue. And so it's a really cool thing. And then what we do is we pass around buckets at intermission. But the only reason we're able to do that is we had a wonderful sponsor for our first 5 years. This is year 6. We lost that sponsor, so this past year we we asked for donor pledges, and the audiences just came through big time. And so we're able to have a 2023 season because of their generosity.
And you're always open for other people to come in to help in any other sponsorship or
We love
donation,
that.
right?
Yeah, we love that.
How about volunteers? You need volunteers?
Actually, we have a place in Mount Gretna, and my neighbors are the best volunteers of all.
There you
They're
go.
putting people up for Strictly Platonic. They're usher at our shows. They pass the buckets around. It's a phenomenal community.
And speaking of Strictly Platonic, again, which we want to say is coming up over Memorial Day weekend, you're going to be, is it videoing this so that you can possibly do this again?
Yes, we video it so we can send it to other theaters. Like with Bert and Me, we send it to theaters across the country, and we were very fortunate that several theaters picked it up, and it was a lot of fun. And this is a nice summer show, a light venue meant to make you feel good, laugh, and it's perfect for summer entertainment. So we will send it to theaters across the country in hopes that they may be interested in picking it up.
Well, I am so glad that you came in today to tell us about this. Is there a final thought you'd like to leave us with, Lou?
Yeah, I just hope everyone come out to the show. It's been such a fun process, so to have people come and see what we've been working on would be great. Just want to have them laugh, have them leave with in a good mood for the summer, and it'd be great if they can come out to the show.
Absolutely. And a final thought, Larry.
No, we appreciate this. We really appreciate you guys letting us spread the word, and I hope you come over to Mount Gretna and sit on our porch after the show if you want. We'd love to have you.
That could be fun. I would enjoy that. Thanks so much for being here today.
Thank you, Diane.
And thank you for joining us today, too. I'm Diane Dayton with Behind the Lines, reminding you to look behind the lines. You might be surprised what you find.